For 70 years, in the good times and the bad, the Queen has been there for her country. And 4 days of celebration have been a chance for the public to show their appreciation. The Platinum Jubilee, the first in a long royal history, began with trooping the colour. No other country does pageantry quite like Britain, and no other occasion has been quite like this. In the first carriage came the youngest royals, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, looking completely at ease in their first ride down the Mall. The annual Trooping the Colour has marked the official birthday of the British monarch for over 260 years. But significantly, this was the first time the Queen hasn't been there in person. Instead, it was Prince Charles, his son and heir, Prince William, and Princess Anne conducting duties for her.
His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, dressed in the uniform of Colonel of the Welsh Guards, and wearing the green sash of the Order of the Thistle, and the collar, which is like a chain over his shoulders, of the Order of the Garter.
While the massed bands played, from the window of the Major General's office, the younger royals watched and maybe learned.
And the pipes again for Heelan Laddie as the Scots Guards march past in quick time.
Joanna, what struck you about what we've watched unfold?
It's just extraordinary to see British ceremony at its very, very best. And being the daughter of a soldier, I'm always terribly proud to see the military out, absolutely. Can you think how hard it is to ride a horse and play a musical instrument and stay in line and follow orders? It's fantastic.
I can't do any of those, let alone all at once.
So all of them together, it's like, you know, it's like one of those. It's just sensational. And there's such a huge buzz of affection from everybody here.
People had come in their thousands for this unique tribute to a unique Queen. The Dakins from Essex arrived early to grab the best view.
Yeah, we were going to come down first thing this morning, but then when we saw on the news yesterday that people were already camping, we thought, oh, maybe we should be camping as well.
What was it like in your tent, Charlie?
Very cold.
Most were from the UK, but some travelled much further.
Florida!
Switzerland!
Mexico! Wales! Australia!
And they came for the spectacle, yes, but the monarch means so much to so many, young and old, united in their affection.
The country is in crisis, and she speaks, everybody listening to her. That makes her more special.
The Queen has done a lot for us, and this means a lot.
I come from a country where you see presidents coming in and out, and no one lasts. You don't remember them. But the Queen, 70 years on the throne, she is really the last great monarch ever.
After the military march, the People's March, the crowd streaming towards the palace, and the Queen didn't disappoint.
And here she comes.
Stepping onto the balcony with her heirs and the working royals around her. The flypast is a family favourite, a carefully choreographed display of aircraft from the past and present passing low over the capital.
Perhaps one of the greatest sights of all, from the Battle of Britain flight, coming towards us now. And for the Queen and her generation, as they see this great Lancaster bomber flanked by 3 Spitfires and 2 Hurricanes. What a great sight. Look at them flying over now. The roar, listen to it, brings back memories of 1939 to 45.
Prince Louis watched on, enthralled, even if the noise became a little too much at times. A reassuring word from his mum, a pat from his great-grandmother. In the sky, a tribute to the Queen's long reign in numbers and then in colour.
And here they come, the red arrows in red, white and blue, filling the sky with the great salute of the 3 national colours. the Queen, Platinum Jubilee, Commander-in-Chief.
This was a family picture not quite complete. No Andrew, who announced he had COVID, and no Harry or Meghan either. The Queen was at the centre of it all, sometimes leaning on her stick, but otherwise looking well for her 96 years, and clearly enjoying herself. And after the polished pageantry, an impromptu moment.
How was it, Your Royal Highness? How was it? Warm. Quite warm.
For one family, a memory to last a lifetime.
Completely overwhelmed, truth be told. Wasn't expecting it at all, and I feel very emotional. It's a wonderful day to be British.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite overwhelming.
We would have missed it if we went that way, but we just caught it.
The Queen has reigned during a period of extraordinary change. Youth culture has risen, society has become more liberal. And significantly, she heads a Commonwealth, not an empire. Now, even that is being challenged by some, though not by those on the Mall.
They brought the togetherness and knowing that she's selfless, travelling and making impact to the globe through the ways, charitable deeds and, investing in different countries and making people to unite. She's not, racial, she does everything extraordinary. That's the more reason why we celebrate even the 7th reign of her era.
As dusk fell on day one of the Jubilee, the Queen stepped forward for one last duty, pressing the button that lit a beacon at Windsor Castle, the signal that then spread across the land, a tradition that now symbolises national togetherness. Once again, the Queen uniting. The Queen's Christian faith has been a comfort and an inspiration for her during her reign. But while other royals gathered at St Paul's Cathedral for a service of thanksgiving, she had to rest at home, the exertions of the Jubilee proving too much. And here at last, the first public part in the celebrations for Harry and Meghan. They climbed the steps, hands firmly clasped. The reaction from onlookers seemed mixed.
I have my own opinions, but I wouldn't have booed because, it's a happy occasion.
Indeed, it's a happy occasion to celebrate the 70th year, not to boo the people.
The Queen was represented by Prince Charles. He and Prince William are gradually taking on more responsibilities. They were sat far apart from Harry and Meghan, perhaps because of protocol, perhaps because of family tensions still not resolved. The Queen would surely have been watching on television. The Archbishop of York addressed her directly, using words the horse-loving monarch would appreciate.
Your Majesty, we are sorry that you're not here with us this morning, but we are so glad that you are still in the saddle, and we are glad that there is still more to come.
The Queen was still resting at Windsor Castle on the third day of the celebrations, as thousands gathered for a gig at the palace. But she still had a pre-recorded surprise up her sleeve to open the show.
Perhaps you would like a marmalade sandwich. I always keep one for emergencies.
So do I. I keep mine in here. For later.
Her family seemed as stunned as the rest of the audience. The concert had something for everyone, from rock to pop. Opera to musicals. This was pop royalty paying tribute to the monarch at home.
It may be quite simple, but now that's done.
She's a constant in our lives. I feel like she's been over my shoulder since I was a kid, because we're nearly the same age.
And for the royal family too, the Queen's wisdom of years has been important, not least to Prince William.
It's my firm hope that my grandmother's words are as true in 70 years' time as they are tonight. That as nations we come together in common cause, because then there is always room for hope. Tonight has been full of such optimism and joy, and there is hope.
And then Prince Charles, Camilla by his side, try to put into words what the Queen means to so many.
Your Majesty, Mummy, you have met us and talked with us. You laugh and cry with us. And most importantly, you have been there for us for these 70 years.
Togetherness was centre stage on the final day of celebrations too, with hundreds of street parties across the country.
Cheers, Your Majesty!
As much a Jubilee tradition as the unpredictable British weather.
I'm sure she'd love it. It's great to see people doing this, really sort of enjoying the day. It's a bit the weather's not as good as it could be, but it's typical of us all. We all come out and enjoy it.
At the Oval Cricket Ground, Prince Charles and Camilla joined invited guests for tea and, of course, cake. And then a royal toast.
To Her Majesty the Queen.
The climax of the celebrations was always going to be the People's Pageant. For the first time in 2 decades, the gold state coach was seen on London's streets, trundling beneath Admiralty Arch, drawn by 8 Windsor greys.
It's medieval, it's fairy tale. This is the whole point of it, isn't it? It's something that is quite out of our ken. It's nothing to do with everyday life. This is something completely different. It's such a privilege to see it.
Inside, an uncannily lifelike image of the Queen riding in the carriage on her coronation day, a gilt-covered time capsule from 1953.
Oh, look at it, it's so lovely.
Behind it came a celebration of British life and culture from the last 70 years. From the 1950s came a convoy of Morris miners, dancers, and the first of the buses, one for each decade of the Queen's reign, carrying some of our national treasures. The 60s brought the Daleks, the 70s pride.
Perhaps one of the greatest social changes during the Queen's reign here in the United Kingdom has been the attitudes to LGBTQ plus people.
The decades raced by, a float of children's TV characters enjoyed by the youngest royals.
Gosh, it's as though life is catching up on us now, isn't it? It's rather terrifying.
And the crowd loved it.
Fantastic, big party, everybody's getting on with everybody, it's just lovely. Bit of joy.
The final act of the pageant told the story of the Queen's life and what she values. The golden coronation orb and sceptre, the diversity of the Commonwealth, and the care of the environment. There was a nod, too, to her love of horses and the corgis. And then, with the pageant over, the crowd rushed forward, encouraged by the royal standard raised above the palace, a sign the Queen had arrived and just maybe would make an appearance.
Every single one of those people wants to come and pay their respects to the 70 years that Her Majesty has been on the throne.
And they've been waiting, they've been camping out, they've been enduring all kinds of cold and hardship.
Opening the doors, I think there she is.
Surrounded by her immediate heirs, this was deeply symbolic, the crown and its future. It was the final everyone had hoped for. On her silver jubilee in 1977, the Queen vowed to serve the nation. She's as dedicated now as she was then, her deep sense of civic duty an example to us all. This has been a celebration of an enduring monarch, a chance for the people to say thank you, man.